Welcome back. So here we are again. Hopefully we'll get some battle footage in here in the next 20 minutes. Um, Couple things first. I've adjusted this because one of my videos I noticed that it was cutting off the time of day, month, year, and what day we're on in speed we're going on. I found that this being visible to the viewers helps because you want to know at what speed are you going? Are you traveling at one speed or 5 speed? Or are you skipping the day by going max speed and full map mode? Um, so yeah, I've lowered it so hopefully you'll be able to see the top of the screen specifically for the time of day. But let's get in. Remember, we had we're just gonna start and see what we get here. I've sent out some Avengers to go look for that sub, and he's got some depth charges. Or has this guy got depth charges? Yeah, he does. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually back him up with my Barnes here, which is CVL, Bogue class carrier, and I'll get into that in a second. But let's launch some aircraft. I only got one available at the time. But, what we're going to do is we're going to put some rockets on this guy. Reason for that is I want to be able to have some surface attack capability. Whenever you spawn in a new recent aircraft or build a new group of ships, they automatically scroll to the bottom. So if I want to have that one Avenger follow, this is the guy I just made, and this is the guy I want him to follow along with. So wherever this guy goes, he's going to go, and I'm going to put that on a repeat as well. So this guy, the front one, is going out where the Sunderland was and then going this way because I want to protect this group of ships, and that other Avenger is going to follow him along. This guy's doing a search pattern because that submarine, if he goes into this supply convoy, which is where my Bogue is, my Barnes supply group, the Barnes is going up to Milne Bay. Now, I know I said I was going to get into some fancy dancy battles here, but let me go to something real quick, and that is I want to show you this little web page, Naval Encyclopedia, about the World War II Bogue class escort aircraft carrier. What were they used for? They were used as a stopgap to transport or provide protection for supply and troop transport. So they didn't have as many aircraft. They were cheap to build. They were built off of a like this C3 cargo hulls, and what they did is they put the flat top on top of it, redesigned the ship a little bit so that it could be a smaller and easier to build aircraft carrier. But aircraft carrier is a little bit hard to say because they didn't have as much armor, hull armor or deck armor, so they were an easy target. The engines weren't changed really. I believe they kept the same engines, but if it was a coal ship, they upgraded the engines to something a little bit better, but nothing like, you're not going to get crazy speeds out of these things. But they were actually there specifically to guard troop transports, invasion forces, that kind of thing. And there were over 100 of these things built. Some of them went to England, some of them stayed on the drawing board, some, but there were a lot of these things that were built. Let me see if I can get on this page a little bit and show you some stuff. I do find it interesting to look at these things. USS Copahay, CB-12. And they did have different categories of these things. They weren't just strictly CDLs. They had multiple different things. So like power plant, for example, these things, they had Charger diesels, a VTE type turbines, and what it did is it made it easier to support itself. You can take on gasoline a lot easier than you can take on coal. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting information about these things. They were not battle cruisers. They were not large aircraft carriers with defense and full of guns and all sorts of things. They were there to transport aircraft to land-based airfields and to help support, transatlantic movements, if you will. So yeah, there's a lot of information. I'm not going to get into it all. I just wanted to show that that's kind of where my mind goes when I'm looking at these things. I do like the represented in the game. I just think that I need to see more. I'm surprised there isn't one of these in every one of the large, supply transports when I see people play the game. But yeah, let's get back to it. So let's run the clock a little. Again, Barnes is looking for more stuff, and we're just gonna speed it up. You see here, this is probably I'm guessing, I did see up in this area like a Congo or battleship group with a carrier in it. I did see a escort carrier on the IJN fleet over here. But this guy is probably a land-based, maybe a single, maybe a larger group of fighters coming from probably Shortland Islands. Float planes maybe, but I think the icon is different for float planes. Float planes usually appear like this, but a float plane fighter, I think it could be as well. So what do we have over here? We have 4 P-38s. I want to see if I can get some more out there, just because. Because if this guy's going to spot him, I want him never to go home again. So let's do that. And who is this guy? This is the CA Pensacola Supply Group. With only support aircraft from fields. So we're gonna find the Pensacola support group, do that, and do that, so that he keeps going back to that same set of ships. Let's run and see what happens. Now we already have 4 there, but we'll see what happens. Let's see what we'll get when we click on this B-17 group. I want to see if we can trigger them. Nice rainy day. I also don't like the way that the game sets it off automatically into a right-hand turn. So they should be over to that side. The Banakas. Again, my GPU, there they are. So there are 3 somethings over there. I'm guessing they're float planes. But we're not going to mess with them because they will come in and easily shoot down my B-17s. And there's a couple more over there. And what else we got? That's it. So there's 3. Yeah, they're float planes. Well, just for giggles, let's see what we can do with these guys. I'm going to do a box formation. This is not going to maybe work, but let's see what we can do. They tend to focus on a particular aircraft, and when they get closer, yeah, there's more than that. What do we got here? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's probably 12 aircraft. Doesn't show them up yet, but let's see. We're going to lose these aircraft, but for giggles, I'm going to do this for you guys and show you what I do in this situation. Let her run. Okay. So I don't know if this does anything at all, but I'm going to have that highlighted. And then when he gets a little bit closer, let's turn so that he's facing our rear. I'm going to prep to bring him in, warm up, bring in my guys. And go down. How he's doing. Is he being focused? Highlight him again. He's the lead guy, this dude. Let's see what happens to him. See if they can take him out before he gets close enough. I'm turning a little bit to see if that helps any. Just waggling a little bit. Go up and down a little bit. Come on, boys. We got one. Now these planes, if we do a little check on them, these are float planes that are not a quad, definitely not a zero, they're not a Hayabusa, not a Taryu. Roofs, these are roofs which are fighter planes. So as we look at these guys, you can see that they just have little pop guns, but they're basically a zero with a float on them, 3 floats actually, and they're formidable. Not as formidable as zero, but they're faster, so we can't outrun them. What we can do, I don't know if this is gonna work at all. What we can do is change our formation, line abreast, form up, go to the deck, change our orientation a little bit, and then see if we can get them to overshoot. That seemed to work a little bit. And now we highlight the next closest aircraft. gun sounds, guys, but yeah, we got another one. I have no problem doing this because they're pretty much outclassing my B-17s. Now, a B-17 would never fly this low in real life. These fighters seem to not know how to fly slower. So, and again, game mechanics as it is, if that's how they want to play the game, that's how we're going to play the game. And again, we take out enough of these guys, and you know, it causes some harm to the light carrier that's out there. And if that's the case, that's the case. You know, we'll take it for what it's worth. But yeah, we're going to lose these guys. There's no doubt about it. We can get another one, that's fine. And maybe another one. Okay, how about another one? So there's only one left. Where is he? We got a couple left. Now we only got one left. And, you know, some people say, well, oh, that's cheating. What are you doing? It's not cool. I say, if the game allows me to do it and we put our aircraft in certain positions where they would never be normally, then so be it. But we get one lone survivor. He's going to go home and cry to his family, crew members, about all the innocent people that they killed, and how many of his guys died as well. So yeah, out of that engagement, there were 11 aircraft, 10 were lost. We lost 3. Now remember, B-17s have, I believe it's 10 crew members. So that was 30 guys just got murdered by these fighters from an escort carrier. What my guess is, I think there's an escort carrier out there. So yeah, it's what we have to do. So there we go with that. That's the cost of freedom, I guess. But those things make me feel bad when you know, I could have just cheesed out and left those guys to their own demise, but yeah, that's just part of being, you know, whatever. But those guys were down here somewhere, I believe. How many we got? How many aircraft we got? 194 nautical mile left on these 12. What else we got here? These guys, 6, have been up for quite a while, so they're good. One of the things that I think is interesting is that when you land these aircraft, if they're not on repeat, the timer for relaunching again gets reset. Now, one of the things about reset is that you're not going to reload ordnance. I do believe you reload, you know, small caliber guns, but I don't think you don't reload bombs or torpedoes or any of that kind of thing. And you also do not repair the aircraft. You only, I think, only rearm. That's it. So if you want to repair those aircraft, stop those smoking guns, smoking wings and things like that from continuing, you actually have to land them and then relaunch them when the timer allows. Let's see where we got this WASP heading. And for future references, some of these, when you're looking at what kind of cover you got, cloud cover, you hit this thing, but I hate it when people leave that on, so I'm going to turn it off. So let's continue for a little. All right, so we just missed that, and that's unfortunate because I wanted to get rid of that plane. So let's see what we got. I've sent out 4 of these guys. They do well like a fighter. I'm not going to send them out with anything, and I want them to cover this Tennessee. So we're going to do that. What's this guy's name? U.S. Tennessee invasion of Guad. So that was the new force I put together. I don't like this scroll menu. It's hard. Not hard, it's just, it seems to be more difficult than it needs to be. Of course I missed it again. Patience, there we go. So let's just do that. And hopefully that will protect him. Anyway, flies back and goes to this guy, we'll go to him. The Finback. Alright, Finback, what do you got on you? 16 torpedoes, which I think is 10 in the back and 6 in the front. And this says CVL and a BB. Now, I don't think that's the case, but let's see what we get, okay? I could ignore it. I think that he's coming out, so we're going to begin and see what we got. It's a little bit longer, but we're not in a bad position. Nice, lovely rain you have here. I think he's not on the surface, but this is already active, so let's see what happens when I go in. There. Let's see. What do we got? Come on, give me some. Where is you at? There we go. And no, that's going to be more than just a cargo and a couple destroyers. So let's leave that up. But we need to go this way. And let's get closer and see what we got. And that, my friends, is a. This said carrier. That was the highlight of it. That's not a carrier. You could probably land a plane on there though. I bet you there's a scout plane that could probably land. Might break a wing, but I think it could land on it. Okay, so we're going to target that. Let's find out what it is. I think we all know what it is. This is how you do it. So I like to look when I'm recognizing ships. There's a couple things. First of all, the number of guns. Go with the large mounts first. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then I look for smokestacks. This is not what that has. That is not, the Fuso is not even close. That's not even close. That's not even close. Another thing I look at is these stanchion wires, posts. See how this got this immediate V that stands out pretty quickly? See how this has got the same thing? And then we go down and we count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a Yamato. Now, which Yamato? It's Yamato or Masashi. I'm betting it's that one. But we'll see what the guide tells us. But immediately, there's a couple things to consider here. The first one is Yamato. The blister on this guy is huge. Okay, so the torp defense is 90%. So how many torpedoes and where do you have to hit them to sink this thing? Now that's the big thing. It's not number of torpedoes, it's where you hit it. So if you look at this thing, from here to here, that's called the blister. Below the water line, there's more armor. That's called the belt. 16 inches. Over the magazine, 22 inches. Each turret is basically 26 inches. The bridge is 19. So this thing is armored from torp and from air attack. It's a bastard to take out of the game. So expecting to take this out with just torpedoes is pretty unrealistic. You have to blow off the bow and blow off the back. To aim in this game is impossible. You can't aim torpedoes very well. You kind of have to worry about your distance here and the spread. So the spread of your torpedoes. So we have 6 in the front and 10 in the back. We're not even worrying about using the back torpedoes. That's not an issue. We're going to use the front torpedoes. We are going to do a 2 spread, and we're going to aim for this guy. Now, a lot of people, they look at the destroyers and the escorts or cargo ships that are in the way, and they hit and suck a torpedo from damaging this thing. My first engagement on this ship, I'm not going to sink it. It's not going to happen, but I want to damage it. And I also want to have my submarine survive. So that's just a thing. Now this thing is only going 8 nautical miles an hour. It's slower than a snail. And that's a good thing, because that gives us time to get up close, right about here, which is probably, I don't know, 2,000 yards away, maybe. I'm not worried about sub 104 and that kind of thing. You just want to get into, make this radius, have that red dot in that circle arc. Now that's kind of tricky, because a lot of the times these torpedoes and these arcs, the more 90 you are with the ship's direction, the more narrow that arc gets. It's at 128 now. Now I'm going to turn around, face to where it's going to be coming, and I should get there before he gets here, and then I should be in perfect position to shoot. Well, let's see what happens. But let me get this thing tagged first. Yeah, we said Yamato. Okay. So Yamato. Okay. Now, what else has he got in this group that's dangerous? Now, we could take out a cruiser. They're not showing up yet, so I'm not even going to worry about trying to tag it. But torpedoes will take out a cruiser and a light cruiser. This is that carrier. This is the seaplane carrier, or one of them, that actually is probably a better target to go for than the Yamato, because if you have no air cover over this group, you'll be able to attack it with aircraft. So again, if I'm going to use my aft torpedoes, it's going to be on that guy. So what I want to do is, instead of going towards the group, I'm going to hit A and change my direction, and I want to go this way. And the reason for that is simple. I want to be able to fire my aft torpedoes at the light carrier. Remember I said a minute ago I wasn't going to use my aft torpedoes, it was a one-shot only deal. Well, here's the thing. If I can shoot my aft torpedoes early, and then by the time that those are on their way and I haven't been seen yet, then when the Yamato's in a better position, I'll be able to fire all 6 at the Yamato and hopefully hit both. Now, the timing is important, because I want to hit this first as my other torpedoes are coming in for the Congo, or Yamato. And that's the trick of the game. That's the part I like about the game, and we'll see if we can do it. Now, that's the hard part. So let's see what happens. Okay. But here's the funny thing. I am actually, this is at 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop this engagement right now, and we're going to see what happens in the next video with these two. So, come back and take a look. Okay? All right. Thanks.